Pause for a moment. Look around this scene, any subway, any bus, any waiting room in the modern world. We are all here, yet we are not here. Our faces are tilted downward, illuminated by the same cold, familiar glow. This image has become the universal portrait of our time. It's so mundane we've stopped seeing it, but true strangeness often hides in the utterly familiar. Let me point to a smaller, more intimate strangeness. The micro moments of emptiness. The 30 seconds waiting for the kettle to boil. The minutes standing in line. The pause at a red light. Have you felt it? A subtle itch, a slight panic, an unbearable hollow space that must be filled. And your hand. It moves almost without your permission. Unlock. A thumb slides upward. A cascade of colors and shapes. Lock. The moment passes. You may not even remember what you saw. This isn't just a habit. It's a conditioned reflex. A physiological response wired into our daily existence. Let's give this reflex a number. Suppose you spend just 4 hours a day on your phone, a conservative estimate for many. That is 1/6 of your waking life. In a year, that accumulates to over 60 full days. 2 months of solid, uninterrupted screen time. Extrapolate that across a decade. You have quite literally spent years of your life interacting with a slab of glass, metal, and silicon. This leads us to the unsettling, central question of our digital age. In this relationship between you and your device, who is the user and who is the tool? You believe you are in command browsing, choosing, playing. But what if the true sophistication lies in the opposite direction? What if the smartphone and the vast economic and psychological architecture it represents has already succeeded in a far more clever mission? Not to be used by you, but to use you. Not with force, but with frictionless, addictive, and exquisitely personalized service. We grew up on dystopian science fiction. We feared overt robot overlords, marching armies of machines. The takeover, we imagined, would be loud, metallic, and violent. The real digital revolution was none of those things. It was silent, soft, and marketed as liberation. It wasn't a conquest. It was a seduction. Your device is the most attentive entity in your life. It learns. It watches you from the corner of its digital eye. You linger on a video of Italian landscapes. It notes. User shows affinity for travel content, aesthetic scenery. You quickly skip past a political argument. It notes. User disengages from contentious debate. It knows your rhythms when you wake, when you commute, when you're vulnerable to boredom at night. It's a mirror that remembers every face you've ever made at it. Then, it becomes the perfect butler, the flawless concierge of your consciousness. It serves you a world tailor-made to your demonstrated preferences. A world designed for one. You love cooking shows? Here is a bottomless buffet. You're passionate about astronomy? Let me bring you the cosmos. It's a feedback loop of gratification. You click, it learns. It learns, it serves you more of what made you click. This feels like ultimate freedom, infinite choice. A universe of information at your fingertips. But this is the grand illusion. Your choice is expertly guided. Your exploration happens within a walled garden whose paths are landscaped to keep you wandering pleasantly inside. The algorithm's prime directive is not truth, not education, not your well-being. Its prime directive is engagement. Time on screen. Your sustained attention is the product being sold. So it gives you not what you need, but what you, based on your past behavior, are statistically likely to want. You are not a citizen of the digital realm. You are its most valuable resource. And the freer you feel, the more efficiently you can be mined. To understand why this is so effective, we must travel beneath the software, beneath the screen, into the wet, ancient hardware of the human skull. Our behavior is driven, in part, by a simple neurotransmitter, dopamine. Think of dopamine as the brain's seek and reward chemical. It's less about pleasure itself, and more about the anticipation of reward. It's the chemical of maybe. In our evolutionary past, this system was crucial. Maybe there's food over that hill. Maybe this new path leads to water. The uncertainty of the outcome made the search compelling. Smartphones have hacked this system with industrial precision. They have created a dopamine drip-feed economy. Every notification sound is a potential reward signal. Every red bubble over an app icon is a tiny, bright question mark. What's waiting for you? Every pull to refresh gesture is the digital equivalent of pulling a lever on a slot machine. Will the next post be hilarious? Will the next message be from someone you like? You don't know. And that not knowing is the hook. Your brain is not designed for this. It evolved in a world of scarcity, where surprises were rare and meaningful. Now it is flooded with cheap, frequent, unpredictable rewards. The result is a kind of psychological tolerance. You need more hits to feel the same level of satisfaction. The quiet, sustained focus required to read a book or build a skill feels laborious compared to the effortless skimming high of the feed. You are, in a very real sense, being neurologically trained for distraction. Beyond the neurological hack lies a deeper, more existential function the phone performs. It is our shield against a fundamental human condition, boredom. The 19th century philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer wrote that human life swings like a pendulum between pain and boredom. We either struggle with difficulty or wrestle with emptiness. The smartphone is the ultimate pendulum stopper. It stands guard at the gates of both pain and boredom. Feeling a twinge of anxiety about an unpaid bill? Here, scroll through these vacation photos. Feeling the empty weight of a Sunday afternoon? Here's an endless stream of content. It plugs every microgap in our day: the elevator ride, the commercial break, the queue for coffee, before a single, original thought or a moment of simple self-awareness can arise. We have lost our capacity for fertile emptiness. The blank page, the idle walk, the quiet room, these were once crucibles for creativity, for problem solving, for daydreaming that led to invention. Archimedes in his bath, Einstein imagining writing a beam of light. These moments of unplanned mental wandering are being systematically engineered out of our lives. We are outsourcing our inner life to a device, and in the process, we may be impoverishing the very wellspring of our originality. Now let's examine the most personal consequence, the fracturing of the self. We are building, side by side, two identities. The first is the curated self. This is the avatar we present online, a composite of our best angles, our happiest moments, our wisest takes. It's a highlight reel, polished and packaged for public consumption. The second is the lived self. This is the messy, complex, contradictory person who exists in real time, who gets irritated in traffic, who feels insecure, who spends evenings in old sweatpants, who fails, who worries. The danger is not in having these two selves. The danger is in the slow, subconscious transfer of authenticity. We begin to believe the curated self is more real, more valuable, more us. The lived self, with its flaws and mundanity, starts to feel like a disappointing first draft. We start to live for the archive, turning experiences into content. The sunset is not a phenomenon to be felt, it's a photo opportunity. The meal is not a flavor to be savored. It's a subject for a review. We become curators of our own lives, distancing ourselves from the raw experience in the very act of trying to preserve it. This is a profound form of alienation from our own existence. The collective costs of this shift are becoming impossible to ignore. Let's name them. The erosion of depth. Our cognitive environment is now one of hyperstimulation and instant gratification. Our brains are being rewired for skimming, not studying, for reacting, not contemplating. The slow burn of a complex novel, the sustained focus required for deep work, the patience to follow a nuanced argument, these mental muscles are atrophying. We have access to all the information in the world, but we are losing the capacity for wisdom, which requires not just consumption, but digestion, reflection, and synthesis. We are becoming shallower thinkers in a deep information ocean, the illusion of connection. We have confused connection with connectivity. True human bonding is built on shared presence, eye contact, body language, the risk of awkward silence, the warmth of touch. What we are practicing now is often performative connection. A like instead of a conversation, a heart emoji instead of heartfelt support, a comment thread instead of companionship. We are also perpetually divided in our attention. We are phubbing, snubbing those physically present for those digitally distant. This creates a paradox. We are more connected than ever, yet studies consistently show rising levels of perceived loneliness and social isolation. We have thousands of friends, and yet we can feel profoundly unknown. The tyranny of global comparison. Historically, we compared ourselves to our immediate community. Today, social media places us in a perpetual global arena. We are no longer just keeping up with the Joneses next door. We are unconsciously comparing ourselves to the most successful, beautiful, and charismatic individuals on the planet, or rather, to their expertly crafted digital personas. This is a competition no one can win. It breeds a chronic low-grade anxiety, a sense that you are perpetually behind, lacking, not enough. It distorts our perception of normal life and erodes our innate sense of self-worth. The fragmentation of reality. This may be the most socially corrosive effect. Algorithms don't just show us what we like. They show us more of what we already believe. They create personalized echo chambers, filter bubbles, or information cocoons. If you lean left, your feed reinforces left-wing perspectives. If you lean right, it amplifies right-wing views. You are fed a version of reality that feels complete and self-evident, making opposing views seem not just wrong, but irrational or malicious. Shared facts, the common ground necessary for a functioning democracy, are dissolving. We are not just living in different opinions. We are living in different realities. This is the engine of modern polarization. Confronted with this analysis, the instinct might be to rage against the machine, to smash the phone, delete the apps, retreat to a cabin in the woods. But this is neither practical nor entirely the point. The technology is not inherently evil. It is a tool of immense power. The problem is not the tool, but our relationship to it. The goal, therefore, is not amputation, but sovereignty. It is to move from being a passive user to becoming a conscious, intentional digital citizen. This reclaiming of autonomy doesn't happen in one grand gesture. It happens in a series of small, deliberate, daily acts of conscious resistance. The pause of intention. This is the foundational practice. Before your fingers wrap around the phone, insert a moment of mindfulness. Ask the simple, powerful question: what is my purpose for picking this up right now? Is it to call your mother? To check a map for your next meeting? To look up a recipe? If there is a clear intent, fulfill it, and then critically put it down. If the answer is I'm bored, or I don't want to think about what I'm doing, challenge yourself to endure just 5 minutes of that unease. Sit with the emptiness. Look out the window. Feel your breath. In that space, your own mind, not an algorithm, might offer you a gift, a forgotten memory, a creative spark, a moment of calm. The architecture of absence. Design your physical environment to support your attention. Create sacred, phone-free zones. The dinner table is for nourishment and conversation. The bedroom is for sleep and intimacy. Declare these spaces inviolable. Also, architect your time. Schedule digital sunsets. The hour before sleep is a critical time for brain recovery. Make it a ritual to disconnect from blue light and digital noise. Use features like Do Not Disturb, not as an occasional tool, but as a default setting for your focused life. The cult of the unrecorded. Reclaim experiences for their own sake. Practice doing things that leave no digital trace. Go for a walk without tracking your steps or taking a photo. See a movie and don't post a review. Have a deep conversation that never becomes a tweet thread. Savor the private, uncommodified joy of an experience that exists solely between you and the moment. This strengthens the muscle of intrinsic motivation, doing things because they matter to you, not to your online persona. The investment in the proximate. Redirect the energy you spend maintaining hundreds of thin, digital connections into deepening a handful of real, local, flesh and blood relationships. Host a game night where phones are stacked in the center of the room. Have a coffee with a friend with the explicit agreement to be fully present. Really listen to a family member without composing your response in your head. The richness, complexity, and healing power of embodied presence cannot be downloaded or streamed. Ultimately, all these practices converge on one internal shift, the journey from exterior validation to interior foundation. We so often reach for the screen as an escape hatch from ourselves, from our anxieties, our uncertainties, our unanswerable questions. But the screen can only ever provide a temporary distraction. The void you feel cannot be filled with more information. It can only be met with awareness and filled with meaning you build yourself. This is the great, poignant irony of our hyper-connected age. In our frantic quest to connect with everyone and everything out there, we have become disconnected from the very source of our being in here. You have a library of travel blogs bookmarked, but when did you last stand still and feel the wind on your skin? You follow inspirational poets online, but have you sat quietly with your own unformed thoughts? You admire digital galleries of art, but have you made something clumsy and imperfect with your own hands? Awakening is not a sudden explosion of light. It is a series of small clarities. It is the half-beat of hesitation before the reflex. It is choosing the discomfort of reality over the comfort of the simulation. It is the conscious decision, even once a day, to be bored, to be alone with your thoughts, to be fully present in the mundane, glorious, uncurated reality of your own life. You do not need to reject the digital world. You need to integrate it on your own terms, to see it clearly for what it is, a powerful, useful, entertaining, yet ultimately limited representation of reality. Your life is not a feed to be optimized. Your mind is not a slot machine to be played. Your heart is not a metric to be measured in likes. You are the author. You are the experiencer. You are the one who gets to decide where your precious attention goes. So start small, start now. The next time you feel that familiar pull, that subtle itch for the screen, pause, breathe, look up. The world, the vast, complex, beautiful, heartbreaking, real world is waiting for you. Not on the other side of the glass, but right here, in the space where you already are. The choice is always yours.